Hi, my name is SamMuir and I run the I Love Classical Ukulele website and blog, and also the I Love Classical Ukulele Facebook page and Facebook group. Welcome to tutorial 1 of this 10 tutorial course called Back to Basics, Fingerpicking for the Ukulele. In this tutorial we're going to look at hand position, and then I'm going to give you a couple of exercises for helping to develop thumb technique. But before we start, I'd like to introduce you to the pima system of right-hand fingering, which I'll be referring to throughout this course. Now, the pima system is universally used by classical guitarists to clearly differentiate the plucking fingers from the stopping fingers. Okay, so the stopping fingers are indicated with numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4, while the plucking fingers use the letters P, I, M and A. And these come from Spanish words. So in Spanish the thumb is pulgar, so we use the letter P. The index finger is indices, so we use I. The middle finger is medio, so we use M. And the ring finger is anular, so we use the letter A. Hence P, I, M and A, which spells pima. Let's begin by looking at the hand and arm position. Notice my arm is nice and straight from the elbow to the wrist, with a gentle curve to the knuckle, and then the fingers are curling in to lightly rest on the strings. Now when I play the guitar, my hand is in a much more upright position because of the bigger instrument, but if I do that on the ukulele, you can immediately see the huge angle I've created in my wrist, and I can really feel the extra tension and strain that's putting on my hand and my arm. So for the uke, I relax and flatten the wrist. Now, there's still a gap between the top of the ukulele and my hand, so here, all right, I'm not touching the top. This is a really poor technique, because if you do this, you've created big angles for the fingers. You end up clawing at the strings, and then it's a bad sound, and it inhibits the movement of the fingers. All right, so it's a very side-on position for the hand, and in this position I can use the flesh or the side of the thumb, okay, side of the thumb here, rather than the nail. So you can hear the nails very nasal and twangy sounding, whereas the side is very warm and rounded. Okay, also note how my thumb is working outside my index finger, so it's not in, it's out. Okay, so my hand is nice and relaxed and I'm ready to play exercise 1. I call this first exercise thumb drop, and we begin by placing the thumb on the G string, index finger on the C, middle finger on the E, and the ring finger on the A string. So they're all lightly touching the strings. Now when you're ready, allow the thumb to drop so that it comes to rest on the index finger. Okay, so it starts on the string and then drops. And it's the weight of the thumb that creates the sound. Make sure the fingers are not squeezing the strings to create that note. They should just be touching very, very lightly. And the thumb drops and rests, returns to the string, drops. The downward movement of the thumb creates the sound, but just as important is the return movement of the thumb, which ensures it's ready to play the next note. So after the weighted downstroke, you need the thumb to spring back into position. Here's an exercise for developing what I call the thumb spring. As in the previous exercise, we start with the thumb lightly resting on the G string and the fingers lightly resting on their allocated string. But this time, when the thumb drops, it immediately springs back to the G string, like this. And once again, make sure you're not squeezing, but the thumb is working completely independently. Do this exercise slowly and leave plenty of time between each stroke. Now my thumb is often moving between the G and C strings. So we can repeat exercises 1 and 2 with the thumb now placed on the C string. And to do this I place index finger on the E and the middle finger on the A. So a slightly different position. And then we can do the drop on the C. And now the spring. Good luck and thanks for watching. Remember, you can find more tutorials on the I Love Classical Ukulele website and blog, and you might also like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, SamMuir Ukulele. Thanks for watching. See you in tutorial 2.